Philippines, as we all know, is surrounded by water, and every year over a dozen of typhoon passes by this country. During the typhoon season, plenty of rains pours all over the country, which causes flooding. Every year also, the government keeps a budget for the flooding control all over the country, but with the recent investigation by the President Bongbong Marcos, majority of the contractors failed to deliver or solve the flooding issues due to irregularities on the contracts and lead to corruptions connected to the politicians. One of the contractors identified by the president is linked to the Senate President Chiz Escudero. Centerways Construction and Development Incorporated is one of the companies named by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. as a top flood control project contractor in the country. Rappler found that the company's owner, Lawrence Lubiano, has ties to Senate President Chiz Escudero. Here's a report by Patrick Cruz. What's Chiz Escudero's connection to one of the Philippines' top flood control project contractors? Centerways Construction and Development Incorporated is among the top 15 flood control project contractors under President Marcos Jr.'s administration. It's owned by Lawrence Lubiano. A Rappler investigation found that Lubiano was one of Escudero's top donors in the 2022 elections. Lubiano contributed $30 million to Escudero's 2022 Senate campaign, 20% of the total cash donations Escudero received. But what exactly is Escudero's relationship with Lubiano? I know him, a friend, from Sorsogon. He's a contractor, Escudero says. He emphasized, however, that he never intervened in any of Lubiano's contracts. I have nothing to do with identifying, making the program of work, bidding, awarding, payment, or inspecting any government project, Escudero says. Escudero returned to the Senate in 2022. Centerways won many flood control contracts in 2023. From only 5 in 2021, its number of flood control contracts jumped to 43 in 2022, 32 in 2023, and 5 in 2024. In total, Centerways bagged 85 flood control projects worth 5.16 billion Cuban pesos. And where are these projects located? Many of them are right in Escudero's stronghold of Sorsogon, where Centerways is also based. Of the 54 projects in Sorsogon, 36 are in the 1st District, long dominated by the Escudero family. Since 1987, the Escuderos have held the province's 1st congressional district, starting with Chiz's father, the late Salvador Escudero, followed by his mother, former Deputy Speaker Evelina Escudero, and now his sister, Maria Bernadette Escudero. Chiz himself was also once the district's congressman. Before returning to the Senate in 2022, he served as governor of Sorsogon. But let's go back to the flood control issue. In his last State of the Nation address, Marcos took a swipe at corrupt politicians linked to flood control projects. Kickbacks, initiatives, Ireta, SOP, for the boys. Feel some shame towards your fellow Filipinos. Marcos said. Was this just a general warning, or was he calling out someone in particular? Some of his critics says that these exposure is a karma to Chiz Escudero after delaying and later on archiving the impeachment of Sara Duterte. What do you think? Should Chiz Escudero step down as the Senate president for his involvement with the contractors?
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for the latest hot news of the press.